Hey, Blastoise. Oh, Charizard. I haven't seen you since, elementary school. How's it been? Life's been great. Super rich. Everybody loves me. It's so much fun. What about you? Oh, well, times have been hard, but I still got a couple fans out there.
Charizard? Blastoise? Is that you?
Venusaur? What happened to you?
Do you remember how in elementary school, how nobody liked me? Yeah, well, nobody likes me still. And now Pokemon ignores me.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's been hard recently. What do you mean? We're the Kanto starters. Everybody loves us.
No, Charizard. Everybody loves you. Some people like Blastoise. Nobody likes me.
Does have a point, Charizard. They really do seem to prefer you over us. You get all this special attention. That's not true at all. Remember, Generation 6, we all got Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, we did. But neither of ours looked good, and you got 2.
What about, Generation 8? We all got Gigantamax forms.
Yeah, but yours was released first, and you were even in the game. In order to get us in the game, you had to buy a DLC.
You guys got into Pokemon Unite?
Yeah, but so did you. And you also got into Smash and Pokken.
Yeah, even in the anime, Ash kept his Squirtle and his Bulbasaur unevolved, but he evolved you all the way to a Charizard, and everybody loved him. Well, bye.
Loser. I honestly can't tell if I'm proud or ashamed to have brought this thing into existence. I'm gonna have to think very, very hard about this. Well, I hope you enjoyed that opening skit. I will probably be doing one of those for each of these episodes. And I spent 5 hours on that, so please subscribe. Anyway, I am very tired, so I will be letting my friend Regirock take it from here. Okay. I think that was a bad idea. Anyway, welcome to the first episode of Pokemon Origins.
No. Not that Pokemon Origins. I mean discovering the origins and inspirations of every Pokemon. Yes, every Pokemon. Anyway, starting off today, the Kanto starters of Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur, then Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise, and Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. For Gen 1 Pokemon, the Kanto starters actually have surprisingly deep origins. I mean, compared to what we have today, they're nothing special, but compared to the other Pokemon in Generation 1 and even Generation 2, these were pretty good designs with rather good origins. But you're not here to hear me ramble about the Pokemon designs. If you are, I think you took a wrong turn on the recommended page. So, let's just jump right into this. First up, the grass starters, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur. They are all grass and poison type, and have the ability Overgrow, like all grass starters, and the hidden ability Chlorophyll, except for Mega Venusaur, who has the ability Thick Fat. Bulbasaur is known as the Seed Pokemon. As for its actual name, Bulbasaur comes from bulb, as in the plant bulb on its back, and dinosaur. Ivysaur is also the Seed Pokemon, and for its actual name, it comes from ivy, as in poison ivy, and dinosaur. Despite having a full-on tree flower on its back, Venusaur is still the Seed Pokemon. Its name comes from Venus, as in Venus flytrap, not the planet or the goddess of love, Venom, because Pokemon just uses types of poison at random in their Pokemon names, and dinosaur. While many don't see it, the line does take inspiration from frogs, as Ken Sujimori wanted the 3 Kanto starters unevolved forms to resemble small reptilian pets. Obviously it's amphibian, but many people mess it up. So obviously a small turtle, a small frog, and a salamander. I feel like people may get mad at me for saying this, but I believe the line may pull from the red-eyed tree frog. It would explain the grass typing, plus the line does have bright red eyes, and they always have. Now, the bumps on Venusaur's skin may lead specifically to the inspiration of toads, which are also known to release poisons in multiple cases, though frogs are too. Bulbapedia mentions specifically both the common toad and the Colorado River toad. Here's where I say sorry for the translation, but there's also this horrifying extinct giant frog known as the Beelzebufo and the Periosaur, which isn't a frog, it is actually a dinosaur, but it shares many similarities specifically with Venusaur. Its stout legs, its chunky body, and its short tail. The flowering tree thing on Venusaur's back most commonly resembles a flower known as a Rafflesia. It is a parasitic flowering plant that smells horrible. Like, people say it smells like dead animal carcasses. So, that's fun, I guess. And also, another thing is, this may actually add to the inspiration of frog theming that the line has, along with the Venus flytrap in Venusaur's name. As Rafflesia, what they do is they use these nasty smells to attract flies to pollinate them. Well, obviously, Venus flytraps eat flies, just like frogs, so maybe they grow this plant on their back to attract, like, I don't know, a Beedrill or a Butterfree as their favorite snack. There's also Mega Venusaur and Gigantamax Venusaur, but honestly, these guys are kind of boring. They just share the same inspirations as the previous form. The only difference is they have, like, slightly different patterns, and obviously, like, the flower and the leaves on their back change. Honestly, Venusaur easily has the worst Mega and the worst Gigantamax form. As for shinies, the normal Bulbasaur, somewhere between blue and green, turquoise almost, with red eyes. Well, the shiny form keeps the red eyes, but it turns its main body green. The green color over turquoise is the only change. Ivysaur, once again, has that bluish, greenish, turquoise body, bright red eyes, and a bright red flower, and now its eyes become yellow, its body green once again, and the flower on its back, the flower bud, is yellow. Venusaur is the same, a bluish, kind of lost its green at this point, with a bright red flower and red eyes. Well, it has yellow eyes and a yellow flower and a green body in its shiny form. Also, Mega Venusaur, once again, red flowers, bluish, not really green body. Well, its shiny form, same thing, once again, green body, almost greenish flower at this point. It's kind of gained a bit of a green tint. And then last of all is Gigantamax Venusaur, and there's no official art of Gigantamax Venusaur, but once again, green body, yellow flower. Venusaur is also the only of the Kanto starters to have a gender difference, where the females have a sort of seed on top. This is, like, obviously a reference to how plants grow, where you plant a seed and it grows into a plant. So either they're suggesting that that seed grew into a Bulbasaur, or maybe they gave birth to the Bulbasaur and then planted the seed in its back. It doesn't make much sense the more you think about it, but it's cool nonetheless. Next up is the Charmander line, where Charmander and Charmeleon are pure fire types. Charizard, Gigantamax Charizard, and Mega Charizard Y are fire flying types, and Mega Charizard X is a fire and dragon type. They all have the ability
Blaze, like all fire starters, with the hidden ability Solar Power. Well, Mega Charizard Y has the ability Drought, and Mega Charizard X has the ability Tough Claws. Charmander is known as the lizard Pokemon. The name Charmander comes from char, as in to burn something, or maybe charcoal, but more likely just to burn something, and salamander. Charmeleon is known as the flame Pokemon. As for the name Charmeleon, once again it pulls from char or charcoal and chameleon. Charizard is also the flame Pokemon, and the name Charizard pulls once again from char and lizard. Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard pull both from the real animal known as the fire salamander and the mythical creature known as a fire salamander, in which our ancestors believed that when we lit a fire, a salamander was born. This may seem odd. Some people think that we may have lit like wet logs on fire to stay warm, and then the salamanders living underneath the logs would run out because their home was on fire, and we're like, yes, that thing was birthed out of fire. Well, Charmeleon's name does contain chameleon. The chameleon doesn't seem to influence anything during the line except for Charmeleon's name, so it's likely they just looked up species of lizards and chose chameleon because it mixed well with char, which, to be fair, they did a lot back then, and it's not that big of a deal. Charizard specifically pulls from your kind of classic dragon. When you think dragon, a lot of people would think something like these images here. Giant horned red fire-breathing monstrosities with giant wings coming out of their backs. These are known as Western dragons, and this is the type of dragon that Charizard is. Honestly, pretty smart. But Charizard, once again, often teased for its lack of a dragon typing. This does make sense though, as dragon resists all the starter elements, so it would be unfair because Blastoise couldn't do anything to it. But there's not much we could do about this. If we did want to have a dragon type starter, the only way we could do it is if the starter that's usually strong against it gained either the ice or fairy type, so it can actually deal damage, kind of like what they did with Empoleon, where it was steel type, which resists grass, so they gave Torterra the ground type. But if we have a fire and dragon type starter, then the fire type resists both fairy and ice, which means literally this thing wouldn't have any starter weaknesses. So the only way we could have a fire dragon starter is if all of the starters were dragon type, which honestly would have been a cool concept for the megas. Once again, there is Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard Y, and Gigantamax Charizard, but with a few exceptions, Gigantamax and Mega form seem to just have the same inspirations as their original form. They just look cooler and are stronger. So I don't think there's much else we need to add, except for obviously Mega Charizard X actually has the dragon type now, which is pretty cool. Except for the fact, once again, that the other two starters are just, it's easily the best because it resists water. Like, if this is supposed to be a type trio, Blastoise can't do anything to it. Why the crap was Mega Blastoise still pure water type? Despite having a lot of colors on it, in Charmander's shiny form, the only difference is changing its orange body to what was originally a nice yellow body, but these days just looks like a pukey green. It's quite gross. Charmeleon is similar, though it is red now. And once again, only difference in its shiny form is taking on that gross pukey yellow-green. And sure, maybe saying pukey yellow-green is gross, because it's gross. Luckily, they get better at Charizard, where it actually has more than one change, the orange body and the blue wings, as it gains a black body, once again, maybe a reference to charcoal, and red wings. And yeah, it looks really cool.
Mega Charizard Y has exactly the same thing, orange body and blue wings. The only thing's changing once again to black body, though it's a bit purple in this image, and red wings. Once again, also the same, Gigantamax Charizard, orange body, and this time it doesn't have a wing color to change because its only difference is a black body. Honestly, they should have changed the fire color. It would have been so cool. Give it blue flames. Look so cool. Mega Charizard X, the only one that stands out along the line, as its normal black body and blue wings, it does get the red wings that gains a classic dragon green. Honestly, it looks like it was designed for a toothpaste commercial. Next up, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. The entire line is pure water type, including the Mega, which annoys me to this day. They all have the ability Torrent, like all water starters, and the hidden ability Rain Dish. Well, Mega Blastoise has the ability Mega Launcher. Squirtle is known as the tiny turtle Pokemon. As for the name Squirtle, it comes from the word squirt, as in to squirt water, and obviously turtle. Due to Squirtle and Wartortle's tails being fluffy, and both Wartortle and Blastoise having ears, people seem to think that Squirrel is also a part of this, though we'll explain why not later. Wartortle, it's not small anymore, so now it's just the turtle Pokemon. And the name Wartortle comes from war, turtle, and tortoise. So, if Squirtle was the tiny turtle Pokemon, and then Wartortle, it got bigger, so now it's just the turtle Pokemon, that means that Blastoise is the big turtle Pokemon. Except no, apparently it got greedy, because now it's the shellfish Pokemon. The name Blastoise comes from blast, probably referring to a cannon blast, and tortoise. The line is obviously inspired by turtles, and while they don't have flippers, they may be inspired by sea turtles due to their water typing, but the line does also take inspiration from tortoises. As well, some turtles do too. They have back and front shells that are bulkier. Blastoise obviously takes inspiration from both or either cannons and tanks, as Wartortle and Blastoise are also based on soldiers. And the cannon and tank inspiration on Blastoise may be inspired by a Super Soaker or a water gun. You know what these are, popular children's toys. They're guns that shoot water. As for the squirrel inspiration, people say exists because of Squirtle and Wartortle's tails and Blastoise and Wartortle's ears. Those are based on ancient Japanese mythological turtles in which they had seaweed tails. They kind of stretched this out a bit when giving the ear wing tufts to Wartortle. And honestly, I have no idea why they gave Blastoise ears. So, but it loses its squirrel tail, so I don't think there's any way that it's a squirrel. Some people also think that Wartortle's ear tufts may be inspired by Captain America, but honestly, this is kind of stupid, as Marvel is surprisingly unpopular in Japan. Once again, there is also Mega Blastoise and Gigantamax Blastoise, but unlike the others, these ones actually have some interesting new history, as Mega Blastoise obviously leans more into that tank mechanic with the giant cannon sticking out of its back, along with the two smaller ones on the side, but Gigantamax Blastoise has what reminds me from middle school history, like a Civil War bunker on its back. Obviously, it was introduced in Galar, which is based on England, so it's probably not a Civil War bunker, just a war bunker in general, but it looks really cool. Blastoise easily has the best of the Gigantamax forms. Despite Charmander having that gross pukey color, Squirtle easily has the worst shiny of the starters. The green shell is nice, but it honestly looked like it just sat indoors for like 3 years straight and has no color in its skin. Wartortle, once again, it doesn't change a whole lot. A green shell, and its body does become a bit more purple, but honestly these two do not change that much. Blastoise's is pretty good. It has the brown shell and the blue body, which, once again, it does become green and much more purple now, much more of a difference. It works well. And as for Mega Blastoise, this is probably where I would say the shiny works best, with, once again, green shell, purple body. I don't know what it is, I think it just looks really cool. Once again, Gigantamax Blastoise is the same. Brown shell, blue body, and then shiny purple body, greenish shell, but a lot of lost of its green this time. The green shell is probably more of a reference to sea turtles, turtles in general, and tanks, which are usually green. Well, that was fun. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope people watch it, because I spent a lot of time on it. If you are watching this, please like and subscribe. Some of you may have noticed that partway through this video, I dropped the accent I did for the last video and the front half of this video. Honestly, I don't know why I was trying an accent. It was stupid, and I couldn't hold it for long. So it was just giving me voice cracks during recording, and I kept just losing it. I don't know what I was doing with that accent. It was stupid. Next video is probably just going to be most Route 1 Pokemon. It'll be Pidgeot, Raticate, Alolan Raticate, Butterfree, and Beedrill, which might sound like a lot of Pokemon, but I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm gonna make an at least 15-minute video explaining what bees, butterflies, rats, and birds are. So, I'm in for a treat. Don't blame me if the next video is shorter. It's a bird, a rat, a butterfly, and a bee. That's literally their entire inspiration there. That was like a sentence, and I explained what they are. So, I mean, come back next week so I can say it again. Like, subscribe. Goodbye, everyone.